Welcome to our three-part web series. Our mission is educating you on the power of using experts to help you decode Medicare, long-term care, and elder law issues. When you are empowered with accurate and efficient information, you can protect your family well, spend your healthcare dollars well, and remain calm and confident in your daily lives. The group of experts we have for this series include Keith Knabb of Affordable Medicare Solutions, Sabrina Scott of Red Feather Financial, and Shannon Pauley of the Estate and Asset Protection Law Firm. Each expert will highlight one area of information in each 15-minute segment. Previously, we heard from Keith Knabb on losing employer coverage and Sabrina on the long-term care issues today. Today, we will have Shannon talk to us about estate planning in the context of the current coronavirus pandemic. During her legal career, Shannon has represented the full spectrum of clients, from international blue chip companies to single parents. After 10 plus years serving as a vice president for a national law firm, Shannon welcomed the opportunity to return to her estate planning roots. At her current firm, Shannon is able to focus on her passion to help her clients age with dignity, grace, and independence throughout their lives, while assisting the client to create their post-life legacy. Shannon, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Good day, everyone. My name is Shannon Pauley, and it's a pleasure to meet each of you today for my section of our three-part series. So I captioned this session, "What if your cough turns into a coffin?" Because we're in an environment right now, health-wise, that I don't think any of us fathomed 3 months or even 2 months ago. Now, everything I'm about ready to talk to you about should be for educational purposes only. Nothing I state should become considered to be legal advice. And what I emphasize is, if that which I'm speaking of actually piques your curiosity and is something you want to learn more about, I encourage you to reach out to an attorney, either want to have a relationship with, or feel free to reach out to my firm, as we'd be more than happy to discuss this topic as well as others as that would affect you and your legacy. So my name is Shannon Pauley. I am the managing partner of the Estate and Asset Protection Law Firm in Decatur, Georgia. I'm a licensed attorney both in Michigan as well as Georgia. Also, I do have a master's of law in tax. I've been practicing for over 20 years with 3 main focuses. The first is tax planning. Makes complete sense. I have a master's of law in tax. Secondly is estate planning. That is the firm I am at. This is the passion, and this is my roots that I'm happy to be back at. As well as I have creditor rights experience, which gives me a different perspective when we're looking at both drafting, implementing, and protecting an estate plan. My history, I've had active involvement as both a nursing home volunteer, and I'm very proud to say that I am both the daughter and wife of U.S. Navy veterans. Here at the Estate and Asset Protection Law Firm, our firm's mission is to ensure people live and die with the highest quality of life possible. How do we do this? We do this by listening, educating, and then preparing solid estate plans designed around you as you self-direct your choices to preserve your independence and assets. So here's the question I have for you. And this is not one that you've considered, it's one that you actually need to start considering. And that is, if you got sick today, who's going to be able to assist you in making healthcare decisions when you're unable to due to that medical emergency? Well, your first reaction might be, hey, I'm married. I'll talk to my spouse. My spouse will make the decisions for me. Well, they may not. It could be, well, I've got my best friend that is always there with me, and they're going to be with me in case anything ever happens to me where I can't make decisions. I've spoken to both of them. They know everything that I want. Well, here's the problem. Here's the hurdle. Here's the roadblock that these loved ones are going to hit. And that is something called HIPAA. So I think all of us have experienced where we've gone to our healthcare providers and they have us sign a HIPAA statement in order to actually do any type of disclosure. We specifically state who is being allowed to review or have access to or receive communication concerning your healthcare conditions, treatments, and etc. Now, realize that even goes for a marital couple. I know myself, when I went to my last doctor's visit, I had to fill out the HIPAA forms. Once again, because we fill them out annually. And once again, I had to state that I wanted my husband to know what was going on with my medical treatment in the event that I was unable to get the information for him. Now, if we're having this just in a doctor's office environment, let's think about the emergency room. Let's think about something traumatic happening. Let's say that you have COVID-19 and you are now to the point that you're having difficulty breathing. You might even be going in and out of consciousness. They're rushing you into the emergency room, and you get there. You may have some loved ones with you, and they're going to be sitting wherever they're allowed to sit to find out the statuses, because we're no longer allowed to sit in waiting rooms in today's environment. But the emergency room doctor at best may just give us a brief status update, but realize that your healthcare providers are bound by HIPAA. And as such, they can't disclose too much. And definitely, if they start to feel threatened in any way, they will immediately shut down. And you'll have no legal entitlement to know what's going on, have access to what has happened, have involvement of knowing what's going to happen next, and essentially be that advocate that your loved one may have wanted you to be in this scenario. Well, your first reaction may be, okay, well then fine, I'll sign one of those HIPAA authorization forms for my loved ones. Okay, that's great. That's better than having nothing. But you sign that HIPAA authorization form, and all that's actually going to do is give him access to information, not access to active involvement in medical treatment plans. This is where a document comes in that everyone over the age of 18 should have. It is called a healthcare power of attorney, or in Georgia, we call it the Georgia Medical Directive. Now, why is this a valuable document? So first of all, let's talk about it. So what exactly is that healthcare power of attorney that I'm telling you is that magical document that you need to have created today to protect you and give authorization to your loved ones? So a healthcare power of attorney is a legal document that allows person or persons you designate access to healthcare records, consultations, and the ability to make healthcare decisions on your behalf if you're incapable of doing so. And this would include such things as them having legal access to your medical records. Now, God forbid, let's say that your provider is not providing you the proper care for your ailments that you're having, and perhaps they're agitating things worse to the point that you might end up having to go to another doctor. Well, you need to know for that new doctor exactly what happened. So as that healthcare power of attorney, you have legal access to those medical records to transfer them over to the new doctor, or even to review them yourself. Now, more importantly, is the ability to discuss medical treatment plans with your doctor. So this is where, for example, let's say that I am in and out of consciousness, and there needs to be authorization for some form of medical treatment. My healthcare power of attorney would be stepping up in that role to actively participate with the doctors in determining my medical treatment plan. Lastly, if you remember, very often people will make the comment of, well, my family knows what I want. They know that I don't want to be hooked to machines. They know that I want to be hooked to machines. I want everything. I want the bells and whistles to keep me alive. Well, this document also allows others to know what your wishes are so that your agent can be your advocate. For example, if you meet, and for the Georgia Medical Directive, there's 3 specific states of being that if you meet, then you can pre-declare what you want your treatment plan to be if you hit those conditions. As an example, if you are in a permanent unconscious state with limited opportunity, a limited chance of ever coming out of it, basically the stereotypical vegetable. Or it could be where you are diagnosed with a degenerative disorder where your end of life is expected to occur in a very short period of time. And so these are examples of some of the conditions. And then you come down to your treatment. Some people, they do want the bells and whistles. And it's important that you declare out if you are one of those, so that your agent can be your advocate to make sure that you are getting all opportunities under medical science to prolong your life. Other people may be the type that they just want to die naturally, but they want to be out of pain. So that's another choice of treatment. And then I'll call it the third one, I'll call it kind of like an a la carte, where I don't want medical intervention, and I do want to be able to die naturally, free of pain. But for example, if I can't breathe, I want to be on a respirator. Or I want to take fluids by mouth. I want to take nutrition. I want to make sure I'm getting my nutrition so I'm not starving to death, dehydrating myself to death, or once again, unable to breathe. Because these are definitely realities, especially the one about being put on a ventilator. Those are realities that were passing thoughts of persons when they're completing this even 90 days ago. But today, that's of utmost importance. Now, this document that I speak of the Georgia Medical Directive, this is actually statutory language. And what's great about having statutory language is the fact that your healthcare providers are going to be familiar with what it states, what it means, what powers it gives you, and what powers it does not give you. Because this document is such an important document, not only to ensure that loved ones know exactly that which you are seeking and that which you want as your end of life choices, but also gives them the opportunity to actively participate in your healthcare treatment plans and etc. One of the comments I very often make is, this is the kindest gift that you can give a loved one. Let's talk worst case scenario. Let's say that you are to the point that you're hitting one of those conditions where it's an end of life decision. Do we pull the plug or do we keep you hooked to a machine? Now, imagine you're the one that is on that bed right now, and you are the one that the doctor is saying to your son, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your husband, okay, she's in a vegetative state, and at this point, I need you to tell me, what do you want to do? There is a slim chance that, I'll use myself as an example. There's a slim chance that Shannon's going to come out of this. I mean, it's less than a 5% chance. So I need you to tell me, do you want to pull the plug? Or are we going to keep her hooked up? So without this medical directive, imagine what's going through in your loved one's mind. On one shoulder, the thought is, well, Shannon's a fighter. If there's a chance, I know that Shannon's going to push through because she doesn't back down. So, I can't pull the plug because I'm pretty confident that, Shannon would be that 5%. But then you've got the other shoulder over here and it's going, oh my gosh, what is she silently screaming out in pain right now and just wants relief? And by me keeping her hooked up to that machine, I'm just prolonging that suffering. Well, this is where this medical directive is going to even provide some solace to your loved ones. While the decision is never easy, at least they will be honoring you and your wishes by doing exactly that which you designate. It doesn't make it easier on the emotions, but it does make it easier for the decision of being able to honor you. So as I keep emphasizing here, a healthcare power of attorney with medical directives is one of the kindest gifts you can give to a loved one. And with that, I'd like to emphasize that this document, as well as other estate planning strategies and discussions, are at your fingertips. Feel free to reach out to us. Look at our website at www.elderlawgeorgia.com. Feel free to contact us at 404-370-0696 or shoot us an email. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. We'd be more than happy to be that person or that team that is walking beside you. We don't want to walk behind you, pushing you forward. We don't want to walk in front of you, pulling you along. We're there to walk beside you on this journey, and we want to be there for you. And you can email us at info@elderlawgeorgia.com. Back to you, Sabrina.
Thank you, Shannon. That was very interesting and certainly timely information. There is a sense of relief that comes with having an experienced professional in your corner who can guide you through the estate planning process by providing a well-drafted estate plan. You can see this presentation on Keith's YouTube channel, or we can send you these slides by emailing info@elderlawgeorgia.com. Also, Shannon has a wealth of educational material for free download at her website, www.elderlawgeorgia.com. Thanks for viewing today.